Mhm. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the Broxton Borough Council's housing dropping. This month's hot topic is fire safety in our general housing homes. And so let's do some introductions before I pop up the presentation. So my name is April Hatcher, and I'm the Housing Engagement Manager. And Rao?
Hi, I'm Rao D'Souza. I'm the engagement coordinator, so April is my manager.
Louise?
Hi, I'm Louise Geely. I'm the Housing Operations Manager. I'm responsible here for housing allocations, tenancy services and housing options.
Darren?
Finally, last but not least, Darren Idle, Assistant Director of Asset Management and Development here at Broxton Borough Council.
Fab. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the second live drop-in. So if there's a few little jitters and nervousness, it's all new to us too. So please be patient. I'm going to try and pop up the slides and get started on what we are going to share. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So I'm just going to go through the webinar rules and the code of conduct so we all can kind of make the webinar. That's it. Make sure it's a great time and then there's no bits happening. So microphone and videos are muted unless the host allows. So that's Broxton Borough Council. Use the chat respectfully. Avoid spamming or off the topic comments. Please stay on topic, focus on council housing and what we're chatting about today. Follow up so everything will be shared, materials will be shared after this session. Hopefully you may have seen the other video on YouTube of our first drop-in around engagement. Please no disruptive behaviour, be respectful and constructive. Respect privacy, do not record, screenshot or share content without permission. These sessions will be recorded. This session is being recorded, so please keep your camera off and do not share any personal details. If you have a question, please pop it in the chat, but if maybe try and make it more anonymous than saying exactly where you live. Protect your privacy. Please do not share personal information in the chat. Code of conduct, we are committed to creating a safe and respectful space for all participants. By joining this webinar, you agree to treat everyone with respect, be courteous and constructive in your interactions, avoid hate speech and discriminatory language. Any form of racism, sexism, homophobia or other discriminatory behaviour will result in immediate removal. Respect privacy, do not share personal information about others without consent. Engage in good faith. We welcome diverse perspectives, but disruptive or intentionally provocative, behaviour is not acceptable. Report concerns. If you witness or experience inappropriate behaviour, please notify a moderator privately. So Raul D'Souza will be on the chat, gathering questions and sharing links and that. So let's get to the first slide. So we focused on fire safety in general housing, and a lot of the information is taken from our fire safety booklet. So we'll start off with smoke alarms.
Okay, so that's me. Well, thank you ever so much for joining, and April, thank you for the introduction. So I just want to talk a little bit this morning on this first slide around smoke alarms within your dwellings. So it's a short guide really to help us to understand all about fire detection that we have installed in our general needs homes and how we look after that detection, and also responsibilities around for our customers in terms of how they interact with that technology as well. So on the screen here is just a few sort of highlights of the things that we expect in terms of our residents, in terms of action around testing their fire detection, and if discovering a fire, the action that should be taken as a result. So fire detection systems are designed as early warning systems in the event of a fire within your home, and we install these systems to keep you and your family safe, and also and any visitors to the property, and also we install them to a very high standard, which is all marked out within our fire safety policy. Usually the detection we will usually install are smoke alarms, heat detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. So smoke alarms, so they do what they say on the tin. They detect smoke from fires. Heat detectors sense high temperatures, usually installed within kitchen areas, and carbon monoxide detectors alert to dangerous gas leaks and buildup of carbon monoxide within the property. So how do these work? So smoke alarms, they sound normally an audible sound, but also we do have technology which allows people maybe with hearing difficulties to be alerted through a visual sensory piece of technology, but they activate when smoke particles enter the sensor. Heat detectors will trigger when temperatures rise rapidly. So, for example, as we said, in the kitchen, you've potentially got a kitchen, a pan on fire. That temperature will rise dramatically and the detector will go off. And carbon monoxide detectors, they detect invisible odorless gases that can be deadly. And we've talked about carbon monoxide very briefly earlier. Most of these alarms are mains powered, or our CO2 detectors are usually battery powered in the first instance. And the mains detection will have a battery backup, which has a 10-year lifespan, at which point we do replace detection as part of a planned program. So from a maintenance point of view, we as the council are responsible for installing and maintaining fire detections in the home. However, as it says on the slide earlier, there's a few things that you can do as tenants. Test your alarm once a month. There is a test button on those devices, and that can allow you to get there, press that, make sure it's all working. If it isn't, or any of your alarms are missing, please do report that through to the council as soon as possible, and never ever remove covers or try to remove alarms from their housing, and as we say, report any faults to our repairs team.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit today around kitchen safety. So here at Broxley, we do encourage all residents to be mindful of kitchen safety. Kitchens often contain many sort of hazards and flammable items. Therefore, we encourage all of our residents to pay particular attention when cooking. Mainly some of the safety tips for kitchen can include ensuring your pans are not more than a third full, particularly when adding, say, for example, frozen or wet items into pans that are overfull. If that's with oil, it can cause the pan to bubble or rise rapidly. If the pan's over full, it can overflow. This could cause a fire over an open flame. Overflowing oil can ignite quite instantly if it touches a burner or a heating element, and this can cause a grease fire, which would be extremely dangerous, and they are also quite difficult to extinguish. And hot oil splashing out of an overfilled pan can also cause serious burns or injuries to yourself. It's really important to keep your cooking appliances clean. Grease and food buildup can also ignite when exposed to heat, especially in equipment like ovens, stovetops and grills. It's really important to ensure that anything flammable, curtains, tea towels are not too close to your cooking equipment, as this creates a risk of accidental ignition. And one of the key things is never cook when under the influence of drugs or alcohol. This can impair your judgment, reduce your coordination, increase the risk of a fire or an injury, including slips, trips and falls. Thank you, April. If we can move to the next slide, lovely. Thank you. So I also wanted to talk a little bit around smoking. So smoking, especially whilst in bed, can easily ignite bedding, leading to a fire. If you do smoke, we do recommend that there are some safety precautions that you would take. So keeping matches and lighters away from children, not smoking if you've taken medication, drugs or alcohol, which makes you feel tired or drowsy. Never smoke or let anybody else smoke near you if you're in the same room as oxygen equipment or an airflow mattress. Making sure that cigarettes are put out properly and disposed of carefully. And it's really key to remember that smoking is not permitted within any of our communal areas. And if any of you if any of you would be interested in any support around giving up smoking, we do have free resources available, and I think Raoul's going to be able to pop some of those links within the chat. Okay, so the next slide we're looking at today is around oxygen cylinders. So as landlords, we are aware that some of our residents use oxygen cylinders in their home. And whilst oxygen itself isn't flammable, it greatly accelerates the risk of combustion. So in an oxygen-rich environment, materials that wouldn't burn easily normally can actually ignite and burn quite intensely. And also, if an oxygen cylinder has been exposed to high heat, it can rupture or explode, especially if pressure builds up inside the cylinder. So oxygen can also react quite violently with grease, oil, and other flammable substances. This can cause spontaneous ignition. So if you have been prescribed oxygen within your home and it's been provided to you, there will be a sign that comes for your door, and this should always be displayed very clearly so that we can see that, and that the fire service and others are aware that that material may be in your property. Okay, thanks, April.
Thank you very much. Right, mobility scooters. These scooters have been around since the 1970s. However, we've seen a real prevalence in them as technology within social housing, certainly across the last 5 or 10 years, really. And they're playing in part in changing people's lives, really, and enabling them to stay mobile and independent. But they do come with some incredibly important safety responsibilities. So if you have a mobility scooter stored in your property or in a designated storage area which the council provide across some of our general needs housing stock, and you haven't been granted permission to have that scooter, you must contact the council and advise them that you do have one, so we can make sure that it is appropriate for you to have that scooter, or for us to make some sort of amendments to allow you to have that scooter and charge it safely. As we say, you must have written permission to have it stored in your property, and there's a few reasons for that. One, storing within communal areas is not something that we subscribe to. We have a mobility scooter storage policy which we can provide in the chat. If Raoul will hopefully do that. That is also available on our website as well, and it just sets out in terms of the protocols around mobility scooters being stored in homes and in communal areas as well. Charging scooters really, really important. We are aware that there have been a number of fires last year. There were over 90 fires within social housing properties across England, and a lot of the time those fires are caused by defective or cheap charging equipment. So really it's really, really important that you charge your mobility scooters with the correct charging equipment, and you make sure that how you're charging it. And again, we can check this when you notify us that you have a scooter that you use. You charge it from an electrical circuit which has got some RCD protection. We do also suggest that you don't charge overnight. Obviously stay awake while charging, so that's important. So anything that overheats or goes wrong, you'll be aware of that, and avoid extension leads when charging as well. Do charge straight off the mains, and check the battery regularly for make sure it's in good order. So thank you. Moving on to e-bikes, which are a similar sort of story, really. Again, these have really come prevalence over the last few years, and we found a number of e-bike sort of brands that are now appearing out there on the market. Again, it's the same sort of message, really. Do use a manufacturer recommended charger. Charge while awake if you're charging them within your property. Make sure you do unplug your charger when it is finished is charging, there is potential for it to be, thank you, Raoul, just included that within the chat, the policy. Yeah, there are tendencies for some chargers to overheat. Really, really important not to cover batteries or any charging equipment or anything that's being charged whilst it is in the process of charging for overheating. Really, really important that you follow your manufacturer guidance and you understand from that guidance how to effectively interact with your device. And as we've said, never ever use equipment that is damaged or faulty. And if you are charging within the home, please do charge in a cool, dry area, which is free from any form of damp or moisture in the property. Yeah, thank you. Moving on now to electrical safety, and it's something, as we've said previously, the council really incredibly find this subject very, very important, and along with gas inspections, this is a significant part of our annual check-in process. So what do we mean when we talk about electrical safety? Well, it makes sure in short, it makes sure that wiring, sockets, fuse boxes and appliances in your home are working properly and do not pose a risk of fire, shock or injury, should I say. Electrical installation checks occur every 5 years, and we carry those out as part of our statutory duties to do so, and you will receive a copy of the electrical installation condition report within 28 days of the inspection being carried out or before you move in. And appliances, if we do provide appliances, which we don't usually do within general needs properties, we will give any PAT testing documentation to you as well, and we will provide a 5-year PAT testing service if we do have any white goods electrical items within the properties as well. Obviously, we complete our HHSRS, our Housing Health and Safety Rating System inspections as part of our stock condition programme. And again, any hazards we find in terms of electrical items are raised as Cat 1 hazards and addressed ASAP. What, in terms of your responsibilities as customers, would you expect to have? Well, we do require you to report any electrical faults as soon as possible to our repairs team. Check your own appliances for damage and wear and tear. Use appliances safely and follow all manufacturer's instructions. Don't avoid overloading sockets. Again, we talked about electrical extensions previously. Use one plug per socket, and as we've said before, make sure you're testing your equipment, especially things like smoke detectors, which we spoke about a little bit earlier. Make sure you're testing them regularly as well. Thank you.
So here at Broxtowe, we do want our residents to enjoy their homes, gardens and communal spaces, whilst also allowing us to prioritise tenant safety. So occasionally our residents view communal areas as an extension of their home. And our aim is really to educate residents on the risks around not maintaining those communal areas and how this can impact fire safety. So our approach to communal areas are that all communal areas are kept clean. It's detailed in our tenancy agreements and it's made clear on our fire safety information. Our tenancy services team are dedicated to ensuring that when items are identified in a communal area, we ascertain who the owner is and ask for the items to be removed. On those rare occasions where items pose an immediate risk to safety or owners can't be identified, the items will be removed by ourselves. And in such cases, we will store these items at another location for a period of a month to allow the owner time to retrieve the items. And our tenancy services team would like to actively encourage any resident with concerns around their communal area to report this to us as a priority. Thank you. And finally, before going to bed at night, it can be good to get into a bedtime safety routine, such as having a checklist where you're sort of going around your property and ensuring that all of those things that you would like to be done to keep yourself safe are in place. So, for example, closing internal doors to stop fires from spreading, making sure that all electrical appliances are switched off and unplugged, and this includes things like air fresheners. Making sure that your cooker's off, ensuring you don't leave your washing machine or tumble dryer on overnight, making sure that all cigarettes and candles are put out properly, making sure that you're keeping your exits clear at all times. You know where your front door keys are and your window keys, and everybody knows where these are. And then keep your phone handy when you go to bed in case of an emergency. But again, remember not to charge these overnight. Thanks, April.
Sorry. Thank you for that. We're now on to questions. So if we've got any questions around in the chat at the moment.
No, not got any questions in the chat.
There are just one for Louise. What kind of regular questions do you get asked around communal safety and fire safety from tenants?
I think a lot of the time, some of the questions we have are around, you know, I want to store my sort of pushchair under the stairs. You know, can I leave that there? And for us, you know, we are very clear around that procedure. We can't be storing items in those communal areas, and it's just about sort of explaining that to tenants and looking at what the barriers are as to why it can't be stored either in their property or in another safe location. So we always encourage our tenants to come to us and talk to us about what these situations are, so that we can try and help and find those solutions.
Great, thank you. And you said about smoke alarms and testing them regularly. How regularly? What would be a good routine to get into? Darren, let's go, Darren.
Yeah, shall I feel that? Yeah, sorry. So April, it's testing once a month is a good regime to get into, and like I say, we do provide all of the instructions for how to operate smoke and heat and carbon monoxide detectors, but there is usually and certainly the specification on the detection that we provide is a test button. So once a month would be a good routine to get involved in.
Great, thank you. And Darren, you had a bit about fire door inspections. If you just wanted to share a bit about that.
So fire safety is incredibly important, as you can tell from the presentations that have been put on this webinar, and we do carry out fire risk assessments for all of our communal areas and link in with our housing management team who conduct regular checks of those areas. But one of the things that we also do, where we do need access to flats, is around our fire door inspection regime. So we inspect all of our fire doors that open out onto communal areas in blocks every 12 months. And one of the key parts of a fire door is obviously to make sure that residents remain safe within their flats. But of course, if there is a fire within a particular flat, then the resident can escape and close the door, and the fire will be contained, and give the fire service the adequate time to attend and deal with it without it spreading. And we all remember Grenfell and the tragic incident that happened there a number of years back now. So as a part of these fire door checks, or the contractor that we employ to do that requires to check both sides of each flat door. So it's really, really important. What will happen is a letter will be sent to residents before those visits will happen, and we'll also be putting notices within the communal notice boards to make sure that people are aware of the visits, and then basically we really require that access to allow our contractor to inspect both sides of those doors, really. So just to reiterate, that is an annual check, and they will check the closing mechanism, they'll check the letter plates and the handles and the hinges and the strips and everything like that. So really the message today is please do allow access to our team when they try and make an appointment to visit to check those doors. Do keep your front door clear at all time, don't block it, wedge it, and again, as Louisa said, the communal areas we need to keep clear as well, and do report any damage to your fire door, like broken door closers or missing seals. It's really important, and it's a key priority to make sure you, your families and any visitors are safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so if you saw on a previous slide about the communal areas, there was a QR code, so that's the link to the management of communal areas policy. So Raoul should have a link as well, so if you weren't able to scan it in time, here, pop it in the chat. And it also popped the fire safety booklet that we've designed this presentation around, so you can have a look in your own time. But if you have any questions, please we swap on to the contract one. email tenancy@broxtowe.gov.uk or give us a call on 0115 917 3400 or scan the QR code and that take you to the tenant safety page and share information about fire safety. But if you've got any questions at all or want to share ask a bit more, then please contact us. Or if you just want to share this with other people that haven't been to the webinar today, it will be on YouTube in a couple of weeks, and we can share that out to as many people as possible, because it's really important that we make sure that your homes are safe for you to live in. And look out for, or got a thing on my sheet, sign up to Housing News. There's a little bit of engagement promotion in here. So if you do want to stay updated and you don't know how to get involved, go to our website, broxtowe.gov.uk, and then there's a email me in the top right hand corner. Click that and sign up to the council housing, and every month we'll send out news what's happening in housing. So it could be sharing the fire safety webinar that we've just done, some when inspections are going to happen, and bulky waste days, all that kind of stuff. That's the end. So any last comments before I close this from anyone? Would you like to say anything? Any more comments?
And just thank you really, April, for giving us the opportunity to come on and just really discuss fire safety and its importance. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we're pretty close to time, so thank you very much and have a lovely day.
Thank you.
April.
Thank you.